I hate this whole tipping culture. I hate the fear that I have that someone's gonna spit in my food just because I didn't leave them $30 tip on a $20 bill. I can't stand it. I don't even like to order food anymore because even when you order your food, they're expecting you to leave a tip even though all they did was put it in a bag. I don't have an issue like giving extra to people that do a really good job. Like I have no issue doing that. But when it's like required, it's just that whole energy around it. It makes it so icky for me. And the fact that I feel like I'm being, shook up or what's the right term? Basically being robbed. That's what it feels like sometimes. It feels like I'm being robbed with the damn iPad because it's like, I don't know if the person on the opposite side of that iPad is crazy as hell. That person could be insane. Extorted. Thank you so much. That's the word I was trying to find. Extorted. If I don't leave a good enough tip, they might spit in my food. If I don't leave a good enough tip, they might mishandle my food. And especially if I'm buying food for my family, I have a little toddler. I don't want her eating something that they done threw on the floor because I didn't tip them extra $5. Like, I hate that feeling of extortion. I hate being extorted every time they turn the damn iPad around. I really hope that we can start holding these dang blasted companies accountable because that's really who needs to be held accountable here. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share the video. You can support uncensored conversations via Cash App or buying your girl a coffee.
So my friend basically just told me, hey, can you not come back to my job like if you're not gonna tip? Mind you, he's not even my server. And the gag is I did tip. The problem is I didn't tip what they wanted me to tip. So me and my girls, we went out or whatever. Yeah, long story short, our tab came up to $180. I left for $10 tip. They wasn't leaving nothing, but I left the $10. So I'm guessing she went back and complained to my friend or whatever. And he was just like, oh girl, hold on, that's my friend. Let me go get the rest of your money. What money? Yeah, y'all tab was $180 and all you gonna do is leave $10. That's all I had to leave was $10. What do you mean? Oh, you don't know what us servers go through. We only get paid $2.13 an hour. Pause. I didn't tell you to apply here, and I damn sure didn't force you to get up in the morning to come here. This is your field of work, so do your field of work. If you're just working for the tips, I'm sorry to tell you, but it's not going to work out for you. But to tell me that I had you looking bad because I'm your friend and I didn't tip your work friends is insane. And I did tip her. I gave that girl $10. How you going to count my pockets talk about some y'all tab was $180 and all you left was $10, baby? That's all I had to give.
See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. You leave the $10 and then it's like, well, that's not enough. You should have tipped me more. And the fact that the worker felt so comfortable going up to the friend and being like, oh, well, your friend didn't tip me and this, that, and the third is just weird to me. Not only do you have situations like this, but then also, especially if you're a Black person, you may have already experienced this. Especially if you're a Black person that does tip more than $5, you'll sit down at a restaurant and sometimes you'll have people, and not just white workers, not just Latino, other Black servers. Okay, it's not just the white people, not the Latino people, not the Asian. It's all of them. All these servers, all these waiters and waitresses, when they see a Black table sit down, more times than not, they're gonna assume that you're just leaving them $5. So sometimes you might experience bad service because they already expect that you're not gonna leave them a tip or that you're not gonna leave them more than $5. So they give you $5 worth of service. And it's so annoying. It's so annoying because it's like, even if you were one of the types to tip more, well, guess what? Now I'm not going to tip you more because my service was bad. My service was terrible. So why do you think I'm going to tip you when you did not take care of me? The fact that, everybody else in the party didn't leave anything, I probably wouldn't be going out with y'all, but just because like, if we're sitting down at a restaurant, that is the culture to leave a tip. I'm sure you could throw $3 on the table. $3 on the table. It adds up if we all put in a little bit of money towards the tip. But like I said, you getting paid $2, $3, $4 an hour, that is on the company, not on us. I didn't set your wage, nor did I, like he said, tell you to get that job. When I waitress, I understood that it was a risk. That's the part. When you're a waitress or a waiter, you are taking on a risk. That risk could pay out very well in your favor. I've had nights where I left with like $300, $400, $500. It does happen. It doesn't always happen. There was a time where I served one table because we were really slow. They ended up sending me home that day because it was slow. I served one table. They didn't leave me a tip at all. call. And then when I went to go check out, it was saying that I owed them money. I was like, they didn't give me anything. So I have nothing to give. I can't tip out because I didn't get anything. My boss just waived it. He just waived it so I didn't have to come out of my pocket. You take on that risk. Like he said, okay, ain't nobody forced you to take that job. This was a job you took of your own volition. So you gotta take the highs with the lows. And that's just what it is. Like, let's just be for real. Thank you so much, Live from NYC, for the $5 super. You said the price of the restaurant bill does not dictate the work required from a server. If anything, some of that tip should go to the cook. So usually what will happen is you'll tip out to the kitchen, the bus boys, and you'll tip out to the bartenders. Now, sometimes you don't tip out to the kitchen. Sometimes it's just the bus boys and the bartenders. And I do agree, like sometimes the bill doesn't necessarily line up perfectly. If you get like a few very expensive dishes, some of these restaurants, they be having like $60 dishes, $80 dishes, or when you go to the real fancy places, $200 dishes. And it's just one plate. You're just bringing out one plate. And if they're not asking for a bunch of refills on their drink, then you're going to that table a handful of times and that's it. The amount of work doesn't necessarily align with the price. So for instance, I worked at Olive Garden, and whenever they had their pasta, endless pasta, you might be going back to that table over and over and over and over and over again for refills on drinks, refills on bread, refills on cheese, refills on pasta. And then that bill might be only like $45, $50, but you done put in a work for damn near a $200, $300 check. It doesn't always align, and it could not align in one direction or the other direction. It doesn't matter, but at the end of the day, you signed up for that. Okay, when I was a waitress, I signed up for that. It's not a guarantee. It's on the companies. I really dislike how these companies get away with this. And rather than us both like uniting to look at them and be like, you had record profits last year. Why can't you pay your workers more? You know, why are you relying on us to pay for your workers when you should be paying them? That's your employee. That's not my employee. I don't get a tax write-off for having an employee. You do. So why aren't you paying your damn employees? So rather than us looking at them, no, we gotta fight each other. He has to deal with his friend chin checking him because he left a $10 tip. You're mad at the wrong people, my guy. I don't understand. Getting on here look like you naked in a bed with a scarf on your head or a bonnet on your head, and like, what is this? Have some decorum. It's weird. This is too intimate. Y'all are way too comfortable being this intimate on the internet. Granted, we can only see your shoulder, but it's not just that, it's the implications of everything. You're laying in bed. Ew. I don't need to be seeing all this. I'm sorry. It's weird to me. I'm sorry. I will never understand this. I understand lazy days. Look, I got a hoodie on right now, but no to all this. Rewind.
And start tipping your server. Start tipping your server. When you go out to eat, when you go to a restaurant, tip your server. Y'all be so stuck on, oh, I didn't come out here to tip nobody. I came out here to eat. Nobody told them to pick a.
I'm sorry, but is this a man? I don't know. It's something about the voice and the face. I usually don't like to ask this. Okay, I dodged the trap. Thank you. Because I was like, hold up. Some of us, we have deeper voices, and that could be because of the weight. I don't know, but something's given. I don't know.
Needing somebody to tip, says the person whose job is to upsell every time somebody call in to pay a bill. Why? Because you need that commission? Says the person who got to meet a quota every month so they can get their bonus. Why? You got a commission you got to get? Like, what's going on? Y'all be so cheap, and then y'all be pissed when they looking for a tip or when they roll their eyes. Baby, they are not trying to do this for free. And the food industry is a high demand type of industry. You're right. Nobody told them to pick that job, but they needed a job, just like you needed a job. And you picked the job you have. And if you was blessed to have a job that doesn't need commission and everything, whoop-de-doo. That should give you even more reason to literally tip your server.
You see what I'm talking about? All this energy towards the customer who's already paying for the damn food and not the company that's not paying you. All this infighting. This is what the elitists do. They pin us against each other and then they cause problems. And rather than looking to them to solve the problem that they caused, no, we got to infight. The poor people at the bottom, we got to fight over crumbs. Because this is all this is. This is poor folks fighting over crumbs.
I feel like a tip is a blessing and it shouldn't be expected. I don't give a what y'all say. I shouldn't be obligated to pay twice. I don't believe that a tip should be added in. I feel like a tip should be based on how I feel, solely on how I feel, about you as a person, in a small amount of time. I don't mean no harm. I understand y'all rely on tips, but a tip is a gift. And who relies on gifts? It ain't your birthday. If I was you, I would rely on my paycheck, as you should, because that damn sure should be bigger than the tip I'm giving you. I would hope so. I don't mean no harm. I'm not throwing no shade at nobody that work in a restaurant. I'm speaking solely about the tip method. How you know how much money I got? How you know I can afford to give you $150 with $220s extra? Who the fuck you think you is? Because you was nice. Okay.
If you post things like this, you want to know what people will say? Oh, well, if you can't afford to tip, then that means you shouldn't be eating out. Oh, well, you can't afford to tip, then you shouldn't da-da-da-da-da. Well, if your company can't afford to pay you a decent wage, then they shouldn't be employing people. Have you thought about that?
Please tell me why you go out if you don't tip. So I had a mom, a dad, and 4 of their children come in. They were sat at one of my tables. I go to greet them, and instantly they just tell me their drink order. I was like, all right, I'll go grab that for you guys. During this time, it wasn't that busy, so I was just giving them my full attention. I was taking trays out when they needed it, clearing their tables, giving them refills, whatever they needed. They were also like super demanding, wanted takeout, they wanted more refills, and then they wanted takeout drinks, like or to-go drinks. Anything that they needed, I got, and they were asking for a lot. Just overall being a good server. I always try to be. I hope I give people a good experience, but today, I don't know what happened. Their bill ended up being $160. Look what they tipped me, $152. As a server, we get paid $213 an hour. We rely on tips. Some people live off of these tips. I have coworkers who have children.
It works at, it looks like Buffalo Wild Wings. That's what it looks like. It looks like a Buffalo Wild Wings shirt. I used to work there too.
If you can afford to go out, you can afford to tip. If you can't afford to tip, don't go out. I know I said they didn't tip me, but it was $152. I had another table not tip me today. That cost me money because I have to tip out the bar. $152 is almost insulting. Like, I almost wanted to go up to them and be like, hey, what did I do wrong? Like, tell me what I can do to be a better server. Did I not do this or this? What is it? Just tell me. But yeah, I just needed to rant because today was a really bad shift. I had other tables just be awful to me. I don't know why.
Let's look at some of these comments because it's very interesting to me. The first person said, tipping is optional. Right. You should be paid by your employer, not by the customer. And of course, like I said, the infighting. They have to do the infighting. I'm so sick of hearing your employers should pay you a livable wage. Well, they don't. And in America, it's custom to tip. Get takeout or fast food next time. Guess what? Even when you're doing takeout, they want to fucking tip. You're focused on the wrong person, Tanya, and you're over here saying you're sick of hearing it. Guess what? It's the truth. You don't like that you're hearing the truth? Honey, that's not my problem. They could have brought so many groceries with that too, mind you. They decided to go out and have a good night for themselves, leaving you with a bad one. It's unacceptable. Your employer left you with a bad time. It's always the people with an F ton of kids. Like, dude, you chose to have that many kids, maybe set a good example for them. You chose to be a waitress. You chose to have that risk. You chose that. Like, these are not one-to-ones. These people are insane. That's the problem. Restaurants expect their customers to pay their servers salaries, which is ridiculous. I should not be required to pay your damn worker for you.
Do you tip when you order takeout from a restaurant? No, I'm not talking about places like Qdoba or a coffee shop. I'm talking about real restaurants. As someone who has worked curbside for the past 4 years, and that means I'm bringing the food actually out to your car, these tips are so important and you don't even know what goes on behind the scenes. No, we're not just like bringing you your food and that's all. Like, We are getting so many calls, and we are trying to balance that with bagging all the food that the kitchen is giving to us, and we also probably have a full parking lot of cars.
So your job. Oh my God, you guys. I have to do my job. You should give me extra money because I'm doing my job. Honey, that's your job. She's listing off the requirements for her damn job. It's your job.
It's giving to us, and we also probably have a full parking lot of cars waiting for their food. And if there's just like 2 or 3 of us, that is a lot of work, whether you think so or not. We want to give you guys the best service possible, which means we make sure your order's right. We give you all of your extra things. We're just getting out to you as soon as possible. All of that should equal at least a 10% tip. Some restaurants might pay hourly, but at my restaurant and probably a lot of other big restaurants, you only get paid $2.13 an hour, and all you see and take home that night is the cash that you make. So if I'm not getting tipped at all on to-goes, I'm not making any money that whole night. I think people might not realize that and understand what kind of does go into curbside and takeout. So I want to hear your guys' opinions on this because I'm just really curious.
So here's the other part, and there's a bit of dishonesty with some of this commentary, right? Let's say you get paid out every month. Once they calculate how many hours you worked and then how much you got in tips, if your tips do not balance out to at least the minimum wage, what the company is required to do is to pay the difference. It's not entirely honest to say that, you know, the company isn't going to pay you up to your minimum wage. It still should be that they're already paying you that wage. And then on top of that, if the customer wants to give you extra for doing a good job, then you get to get that on top of that. That's the cherry on top. So these companies should be paying at least the minimum wage. That burden should not be on the customer. I paid for the food. I paid the taxes on that food. If I want to give you a tip because you did a wonderful job, then I'll do that, but it shouldn't be required. And that's the part. What's up, Lizzie? You said 152 is kind of crazy. Yeah, I wouldn't personally tip that, right? I personally wouldn't tip that, but at the same time, it's just like, I don't like this energy being directed at the customer when it needs to be directed at the damn company. That's who needs to be getting the smoke, not the customer who already paid their damn bill. I really don't get it, but to be honest, it's to the point where I don't even feel like eating out anymore because I just don't trust people handling my food. I really don't trust people handling my daughter's food. What if a child were to eat that food? What if a child went out to go get the food and you've successfully poisoned? Like, that's disgusting. She needs to be under the prison because what the hell are we talking about here? I shouldn't have to be afraid because I didn't tip you enough that you're gonna poison me. And not only that, notice the look. Okay, she has the look, you guys. She has that crazy lefty look. Is she a lefty? I don't know. But when I see this look, in my mind, I'm like, I don't want you handling my food. When I see this, I'm like, it might be mentally ill. I don't know if I want you handling my food. I'm sorry. Is that true for all people to have this look? No. Is it right that I feel this way? No. But I have to survive. I have to survive on this here planet. Okay, I get very uncomfortable when I see this and I know that you're handling my food, my baby's food. That's why I just prefer to cook at home. I prefer to just go ahead and cook at home.
I'm okay with us going inside the house with you. You bringing a pair with you, and then if the jail flush put on, that's fine. I'm more than welcome to let you put socks and shoes on before you go, but they're going to give you all when you get down there. So mainly I would just
give me a bra, but I wanted to make sure I could get.
If you want to bring a pair with you, I'm completely fine with that. But I will let you put socks and shoes on, but I can't let you change or anything like that because we obviously have to keep eyes on you all the times, and we're both males, so we're not going to do that. So if you want to step in there, we'll step in there with you. Is that okay? No dogs or nothing like that?
No.
Nobody's in here, correct?
That's just that.
Oh, good.
Yeah, my mom and stepdad will be home eventually. So how long does the process take for them to come get me and take me there?
Today's Friday. You probably have your first court appearance on Monday here in McCracken, and at that point you can choose if you waive extradition or you fight it, and then they have up to like so many days to come get you. Which with it being Vanderbilt County and Evansville, it's only a 2-hour drive, so I'm sure they'll probably come get you pretty quick. Does that make sense?
Again, these are the people handling your food. You could have an infestation in this house. You got all this crap. You never know what kind of infestation these people have. And then they're dropping food off at your house. They're handling your food. I understand why people are hermits. I understand why there are people that have agoraphobia. I think that's what it's called. The fear of leaving your house. I understand it. The older I get, the more I understand why folks don't want to leave their damn house. Because this person is handling your food. They can't even handle their own damn house. And they're handling your food that you're gonna put into your body. And then on top of that, the bitch sprayed something. I think her excuse was, oh, I saw a spider. Okay, one, I saw a spider outside, so I'm gonna spray it. Where does that make sense? Number two, bitch, we saw the no. Why would you spray the food if you're trying to spray the spider? If there was a spider there, you pick the food up. If you really need to get the spider, you squash it with your feet and then you put the food back down. Ugh. Ew. Okay, June and Max, don't make me vomit. Don't make me throw up. You said there was a video of a dude licking the rim of a beverage. He was I remember there was someone I knew, and he said that he used to work at like a McDonald's or a Burger King, and he said that he was cooking a burger and it dropped on the floor and he just picked it up and put it back on the grill. Ooh. I'm glad that I know how to cook. I'm glad that I know how to cook. Now all I need is my own damn farm animals, because I don't like all the stuff they be injecting into our food. I just need to go on ahead and get myself a farm with my own chickens and eggs and my vegetable garden and all that, and just disconnect from everything. Y'all would see me just on the YouTube doing this. Outside of that, I would just stay on my farm the hell away from all these people, because it's disgusting. These are the people handling your food, and they probably got lice. They probably got all sorts of stuff crawling on them. These people are deranged, and we're expecting them to handle our food. Yikes. Why on earth are we being expected to pay for these damn workers when it's the businesses that should be taking care of their employees? And I hate feeling like I have to leave a tip. I hate feeling anxious that if I don't leave a big enough tip, they're gonna damage my food. Just absolutely disgusting.